Start recording. Okay, so
Hi everyone, it's
hello.
me, the best
Yes,
commentator yet.
you know it. It's everyone's favorite Siberian. I'm doing post commentaries because I was super busy, so it's me, Bodity, joined by Siberian, and we're watching a top 8 match, SRN versus Prawn. And you can see SRN's hand here because, like I said, it's a post commentary. But in some ways, that just makes it more interesting. We can get a better look at the player's potential plays. SRN won the.
And make fun of everyone's mistake better.
Oh yes, that too. We can bully people for choosing to throw themselves out there by letting us do a feature match. So.
I love my job. Anyway, we start with instant fusion into Rage in set 3. Great, that's great.
Classic. Winning the as a stun player, winning the rock paper scissors is pretty important. But Prawn over here is on Blue Eyes Ritual, and I know that he, in many cases, would rather choose second anyways, because that's how you OTK. Looks like he's just got a comparatively tame Gofu start, and he's using all of his summons to do the big grindy back row thing.
Yeah, this is just the setup in the end. Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good snipe.
Yeah, the scrap iron is annoying. Not particularly overwhelming, but it helps guarantee that this Raijin here can get value each turn with its book effect. And he got the draw for it. Gofu's so strong.
Yeah.
And now he's attacking in and rip scrap iron. But
Rip what?
rip scrap iron. The one it could have blocked this attack, but instead
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Instead, SRN has to use the lance to protect the Raijin, which is sort of interesting because the Raijin cannot book the Gaia Saber in return. Link Monster's OP. So it means that SRN is going to slam the Eater here, probably. Gradle Impact is
Yeah, that one looks like a pretty good draw.
Yeah, right off the top. Super OP. Oh, we can't see what he's banishing for the Eater. It's always a big oof moment when your opponent starts banishing cards from their extra face down. You're like, no. Eater's so strong.
Yeah.
Rip Gaia Saber. It's supposed to be banished face down. But I don't really think that matters.
In bronze deck, I'm going to guess it won, but it's relevant for Eater's attack.
Yeah, I mean, it matters for other stuff. Dragon Rulers plays different dimension reincarnation sometimes, but yeah, so we'll see. Now he's got...
We're getting up to some rituals shenanigans.
Yeah, he's got the full hand, which means it's combo time, and it looks like that's exactly it. Manju.
Yeah, but SRN still has a free bomb, right?
He still has... He has a heavy Storm Duster, but it's not real defense. He only has the Raijin as
a Book of Moon.
Yeah. And it looks like that effect does not actually prevent the Shino Baroness's on summon shuffle all the back row. This card's actually really good if it resolves, which is understandable. That's why it has such a neat niche. It is incredibly strong.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm pretty sure something like a spirit ritual was pretty surprising when it was spoiled. I think it's a pretty interesting design space that was exploring.
That's pretty rough, though. It can't summon anything from deck because its full effect is you can shuffle up to 3, then summon a spirit from deck. But if you don't shuffle, then you're not allowed to special. And because SRN destroyed his own impact with the Storm Duster and activated the Storm Duster, the shuffle didn't resolve correctly, and now it gets booked, and this eater will make quick work of it. He's not banishing him face down. Come on, man. Know your rulings. This is a pretty rough spot, though. That's not a lot of life.
And that's the end.
I think you're ahead of me by like half a second, because I didn't see the scoop when you said that.
Oh, I can pause and restart.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can...
If you just like pause for a second, it hopefully will line up a little better. It's fine, though.
It should be all right now. Okay.
Done siding. SRN isn't, though. We know that Prawn is legendary for siding random craft like Blue Boy, the spellbook engine, because he like is super... He's always late when turning in deck lists. No shade, you're a cutie. But it looks like SRN has...
it has to be said.
SRN has like a real siding plan. So we'll see what comes out of the side deck here. So now we'll get to see actually whether or not Prawn chose first or second. And it looks like he did choose second. So that's just...
Of course, when you're aggressive, it's getting the attack. Also, you have shuffle everything into the deck. So that's, of course, free value, pretty much, when you're going... If that thing manages to stick.
Yeah.
And also the... considering that you need a lot of in a ritual deck, you need a lot of individual pieces. The extra draw can be really relevant.
Yeah, like even though SRN's playing a slow stun deck where he like sets 5 and passes, the extra card, the first battle phase, all of that's important enough that it's still worth it. It is the killer. Do not die. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool.
Does it? Really?
Sure. Maybe I have low standards, but I also don't like to bully the people in the feature match too much. That's a pretty good opener for Prawn, though. He can go Melody pitching Whitestone, and if he so choose, he could search double alternative, and then the Whitestones would still get him the Blue Eyes. And the fact that he didn't makes me think that he probably has the other alternative in hand, or another like trade-in or something. Something that he wants to pitch the Blue Eyes for. Oh man, this Black Garden's so scary. Look at this 1500 attack Blue Eyes. Man, SRN's like... Not a lot of his back row is particularly live right now with 2 revival traps, but the Black Garden and Supply Squad, that technically works out. So, and Bad Aim is sort of like a weird Ghost Ogre. It's not bad, but we're seeing Prawn like willing to not overextend here. Oh man, he just pitched a Blue Eyes to hand size. Ouch. This is sort of like doesn't bode well, because I'm certain that the slow deck appreciates the extra turns being afforded here, even though like... Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I was gonna say something... Yeah. SRN likes being afforded extra turns, even though the Black Garden isn't exactly like helping his game plan at all.
Control-ish deck gets to take advantage of your opponent's stumbling on the early game.
Yeah, like the Black Garden is actually still doing its job just by making Prawn not summon. Like that's worth it, even though it's like not actively doing anything. Looks like
Does Black Garden combo with Supply Squad?
with
Do
which
you get
card?
the drops of the tokens dying?
Yeah, yeah. It's because they
Ah,
don't have to go to the grave. It just is destroyed by battle or card effect. It
okay,
looks
then
like Dragon Ravine dumping the King of D. That's interesting. He's pitched a lot of stuff from hand, so
and that's a cool artwork for.
yeah, it looks like Fron decided that because he already because SRN now has a monster set, it's like not worth trying to stall the Black Garden. I'm not okay. Never mind. Yeah, he was like attacking in here will trigger the supply squad, anyways. That's sort of
Yeah.
interesting that he didn't like.
It's worth remembering that Garden doesn't trigger on flips, so Amano right now is pretty alive.
Yeah, it's just a spirit, so even when it's flipped, it returns to the hand at the end of the turn.
Yeah,
That's sort of
but it will still be a 1900 beater
yeah.
for now.
And supply squad is once per turn, but it works on either player's turn, so he can ram tokens for draws as long as he feels like.
Or you can use the token to kill the Senju.
Yeah, because the Senju's
That's also
at
an option.
700. Rawr. Now he's getting in those Amano beats. I wonder if he'll set the Mist Valley Falcon or the Amano. Because, like, the Mist Valley Falcon, I
Oh, he
feel like
didn't.
there's some way to get it on board to, like, remove the Black Garden and then, like, revive it with the like, powerful rebirth. So you have a 2000 beater and then Prawn sort of fighting an uphill battle.
He didn't do anything with the token. He didn't kill the Senju and he didn't slam into the Bonus Spirit of White. This
Maybe
is
he'll turn it to
strange.
defense mode. It looks like he's making a rank 4 here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a low value move, just not doing anything with the token.
Yeah. Tornado Dargon. I wonder what he's going to do with this. Just sit on it because it's 2000 defense? I suppose so, but
It's a pretty strong wall.
giving Prawn 2 tokens with his own Black Garden for that, though, we know that those tokens can quick become a nightmare unicorn or something. So, looks like, yeah, it seems like he missed the hitting over the Senju there, but it might not be too important.
Hey, that's still a free material and still a free level 4 that is living around.
Hmm.
If the rituals were level 9, then maybe it would be still it would be a non-important mistake, but a level 4 is a level 4 and the tokens are level 2, so right now he has the materials for ritual summoning just quote-unquote useless cards.
Yeah, the stuff that SRN has allowed him to have by not hitting the Senju and summoning tokens off his own Black Garden. It looks like he did have the other alternative in hand, which explains that Melody search. So he's going for another alternative. He can blow up the tornado, but that's another supply squad draw. May as well just fire it off at the Dragon Ravine. It's something at least, even though the ravine did get a good piece of value with that white stone.
Oh, this seems relevant.
Oh, lordy.
By the way, what are some rank 8 that Prawn could go into right now?
Felgrand or Titanic Galaxy. He's well under the summon limit.
Can you Felgrand in response to Black Garden to leave it at 2800?
Um, that is a good question. If a
You are a
monster's
judge.
normal colon have its attack, I would say I would need to read Felgrand. It's possible that you can just Felgrand itself at any point and its attack reverts to normal.
Yeah, that's cool.
But yeah, I'd like to read Felgrand. We'll see though. Like going into the rank 8 here, we know that it's the right play because we see the dark hole in hand, and Prawn might rather keep the two 1500 beaters on board under Black Garden, and it looks like that is what he opted for. So
Oh, I still don't know what this guy does.
Psyblocker.
Yeah. Last
Oh,
text. I read the text. I remember the text. I don't know what the text means.
it's walking prohibition basically. It's pretty wild actually. It is the monster can't be used, which is a very ethereal thing, but technically
What does that mean?
it's like it can't attack, it can't use effects, um, it can't be used as a material for a summon. Um, its continuous effects still apply. I'm not actually sure. There was like a reprint to Prohibition in the OCG, which clarified a lot of the rules, and then
But I'm going to assume we didn't get it.
we didn't get it.
What a surprise!
Yeah, looks like that dark hole blowout there, triggering SRN's own supply squad too. Pretty scary.
Anyway, SRM is at +4 right now, so this is a pretty good position to be in for the control deck.
Yeah, and a full back row, though none of its effect negation, which is important when you know that Prawn's playing that Shino Baroness shenanigans. Black Garden does like a fairly good job of having attack and creating random chumpy dudes to prevent blowouts, but that MST going right for the Black Garden there means that like SRN is uncomfortably low on life versus a deck that can just throw out 3000 attack beaters like this. So
would you consider Black Garden an active threat in the deck? Like it's something that generates continuous value and makes pretty much every play you make a lot harder. So is it a priority target for in your opinion?
I believe it depends on what your opponent's got. It's like I think that Prawn here was making a specific read, knowing that this powerful rebirth, there was like at least one useless back row in this situation, and the call has been sitting there, and the bad aim, they've been sitting there for like ever. So he can sort of like make an educated guess that they aren't as important for like stopping his aggression as the a Black Garden is. So I think that was what determined the MST on the Black Garden there, because he could have saved it for the powerful rebirth that he knew was coming, but
yeah, that's fair.
He might even have a read that this is a bad aim because SRN was asking about the Dragon Ravine earlier in the game, asking which effect it is. Impact is a big oof.
Oh,
but
this is nice. You can use the Psy blocker naming Blue Eyes, and is shutting off both alternative and the regular Blue Eyes that is got in end.
Yeah, it's pretty spicy. It's like using Prohibition versus Spiral Super Agent. It incidentally just destroys like basically most of the deck. This is pretty interesting though. Prawn saw that SRN had to chump block this alternative attack with a powerful rebirth, so he can know that none of this back row is like a mirror force, or if it is, SRN's like a big brain player. So now he can like return into Dragon Spirit, hitting the impact, and then try and like push through lethal damage here. Maybe we'll see. He could just go like beats Psyblocker. Psyblocker like prevents the alternative from attacking, but
Blocker prevents a lot of stuff.
yeah, it's a confusing card. Can they be used as material? Nope. Exactly. So it looks like SRN, without the impact, sort of struggles to have a life point efficient out to these big boyos, and he doesn't have the like right back row for it. You know what I haven't done enough this duel? Draw cards. Man, you've drawn like a bajillion. And he's about to draw some more. That's not very helpful. That is, though. The ring is dead because these boyos are too big, but the eater could help.
Yeah.
And the ogre is at least... It's like, Ghost Ogre is interesting as a hand trap because it oftentimes doesn't really stop the thing that you want to stop, but like, just using it to blow up your opponent's big dude is very important because sometimes you just need to like manage your life points that way or prevent your opponent's aggression. So
and Prawn keeps forgetting to banish face down. So
yeah, we'll see if he banishes face down this time. No.
oh, I think I'm slightly ahead again. Damn.
Oh yeah, that's okay.
Tell me when he sets the.
He set the alligator like.
Okay, now we should be alright.
But oh, now we're seeing the ritual. That he knows that these three unknown back row haven't been the like solutions that SRN has needed because he had to desires to like try and draw into this eater, and he saw the alligator search, so he can reasonably say that this is a Gradle alligator. So I think that he can Felgrand and use its effect to make it unaffected by the Eater's banish effect and swing for game over the Eater, ignoring the alligator and trusting that these three back row won't stop it, which...
Ooh, that's interesting. Also, I must be misreading bad aim because couldn't Seren have activated it like several times during the duel? Is he holding it back or am I missing something?
When your opponent's card or effect is activated, target one card on the field other than that card. So it's like weird Ghost Ogre. It's inverse Ghost Ogre. But
yeah.
It looks like the Lord of the Red has two effects. It is once per turn during either player's turn, when a card or effect is activated, you can either destroy a monster on the field or destroy a spell or trap on the field. And so it looks like he's using the fact that SRN is like firing off the Ghost Ogre, which doesn't actually help versus the return, to pew pew pew. And it looks like his suspicions were confirmed a little bit with that Call of the Haunted. I think technically he would get a Supply Squad trigger, but this is... Yeah, he did. It was nothing useful here. First of the dragons is unaffected by other monster effects, so he doesn't even need to do the Felgrand play. This is just game.
This is it.
So...
what's this... G2 or G3? I think I lost.
This was game 2. So there's another game after this.
Fun.
Oh wait, the desires. Eater's so thick. The desires meant that it was like huge. That's fine though. That was still lethal with the rest of the monsters. It meant that the Felgrand line I described wouldn't have been game though. But that was a very instructional game, I think. We're paying attention to when your opponent uses back row and how they hold it. You can like get an idea of whether or not it will stop a certain play. And we sort of got a unique view of it because we could see SRN's hand there and see that like each one wasn't actually helping out. But it's still pretty instructive to see how you can sort of pressure your opponent when you know the back row isn't anything.
Makes you wonder about what kind of impact would the hand attack have on this form.
We probably don't want to get into a Hyde Park worthy discussion on stream.
What? The people love politics, don't they?
No. Oh wow, that's an interesting pitch. He pitched pre-prep, which makes me think it's like A, he must not be playing a whole lot of targets, and B, he must have drawn each target. So I guess that's better than just having the pre-prep in hand and having it be dead, as you can use it as fodder. But like that hurts that you couldn't activate it and then fire off the melody or something. Slime Jr. is not a usual Gradle to run, but it's still pretty good. It has this like weird float effect, or it has this weird like synchro effect and regular float effect, where if it's destroyed by battle, you can summon a Gradle from deck, but otherwise you can like special summon Aqua type and Gradles from hand and grave. Sadly, it doesn't do them simultaneously, so it sort of like messes with the summon limit, and so it's mostly useful for the battle float, which is what SRN was trying to encourage to happen there with that chalice. But Blue Eyes actually have a good card, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, that negates graveyard effects, so that's gonna sting a little bit. This is looking pretty good for Prawn here, even though he wasn't able to use that pre-prep for any value. Like, what a blowout.
We would say that going into Spirit Dragon was a nice read for Prawn, but in the end, if you see SRM deck setting something, you can have a good chance of guessing right if you think that it's going to be a Gradle.
Yeah, Spirit Dragon's just so good that you like. There's never a situation in which you don't want to summon it. So that's sort of something that irks me about Konami's card design is they'll create cards that are good that incidentally have like blowout effects in certain matchups, like Dark Law, which is super annoying how people just like play it because hero cards are good, but then also like it randomly shits on graveyard decks. That's why we banned it.
And also on any kind of search.
Yeah, that too. Looks like he's going through the motions a little bit here because Eater does not target, and hey, he vanished face down though.
Oh my god, Prawn, your brain is so big. Please
look at him reading cards. I'm so proud of him.
My forehead.
It looked like a pretty good situation for Prawn here, but we can sort of see SRN drew like two incredibly powerful co-forbidden cards here that he is making good use of. And it looks like Prawn doesn't even have the out to this Eater this turn, which means it can eat something else. But
isn't there a way to go into Cerberus? I feel like there must be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Whitestone Link Kuriboh is 2 summons, and then the Whitestone itself is a 3rd summon unless you're getting a Blue Eyes like a vanilla one. So you're like, options are limited here. Foolish Burial. It's Blue Eyes Rhoda. Thanks for Whitestone. The other Whitestone. But we're gonna see.
Sure, there are a lot of Waitstones around, huh?
It looks like
You know,
he's...
for most of my let's call it Yu-Gi-Oh playing life, I thought that Waitstone of Legend was underwater.
Oh. Yeah, no, the art's kind of weird. It looks like the play was as I thought, and he just summoned the dragon spirit and fired it off at a back row. Because it's like, you could get the dragon spirit for a summon but go plus, or just get the blue eyes and not use a summon. But it's not plus, it's just a big dude, when they're both big dudes. So we'll see. That's like worth it, even though this eater can eat the dragon spirit. But, Pot of Duality is a good card. All of these are good cards. I would think the Luna probably, because he hasn't used his summon, even though it's not the best in this particular matchup, because same name, and a lot of them are named Blue Eyes. But
like, in the same way that Psyblocker was there was extra value added before, now Luna loses value right now.
Yeah, however, the like, picking a card that you know protects the eater that you've already established, like, you wouldn't want to pick Dark Hole because you already have an Eater of Millions on board that you don't want to just Dark Hole. And
also,
picking
we
the...
already know that Prawn has at least one Blue Eyes in hand.
Yeah.
So
Luna makes them have to send from deck or extra deck, not hand.
Yeah, it doesn't work from the end.
So it looks like he's just going in with the ritual stuff. And it looks like SRN knows that he knows to use this MST here to sort of force the Baroness.
To try to negate the...
Yeah, the Baroness to make it lose value, and it looks like that's how that's going to happen. And this is enough to crack the Eater here, but it's still going to eat something, and then Luna can still bounce something.
Hold on.
The Eater's at 500, because no Desire was activated this time, which means he can't actually, like, crack it this turn either, probably.
Eater is at 700.
Oh yeah, because it counts the opponent stuff too. My bad. I think Prawn's sort of realizing that Luna and Eater together, man, SRN's got all of the co-forbidden cards. He can just, like, let this attack go through and Prawn will take 400. Okay, no effect. Yeah, see?
Yeah, I was thinking, like, in this situation, this might be a bit of a controversial statement, but I remember the Luna discourse, the Snow discourse that we had for years and years on the Discord. And I always thought that, instant speed Book of Moon is pretty annoying, but having compulsory each turn always seemed to me a lot more strong. But I didn't say anything because I wasn't as heavily invested in the game as everybody else discussing was.
Yeah, I mean, people joke about Snow, but Luna being on Limb would be terrifying because it can search itself. So you could just Luna into Luna into Luna, and it, like, on board has a very useful effect.
You lose out on the rank 4 shenanigans and messing with the summon limit, but I think that the onboard effect is a lot stronger than just instant speed Book of Moon.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like SRN has managed to keep this Eater for another turn, and so now he can just normal the Luna and banish the Manju, and Prawn's still, like, struggling to out this little setup here.
So by the way, now that Snow is no more, are there no good Luna targets to just add to your deck for incidental value?
Yes, basically. It's, like, not worth it.
I mean, it's just a 3+1. It can't be that bad.
Well, we just saw SRN opt not to use the Luna search effect here, so it's reasonable to say that he's not playing any targets, and clearly Luna is still strong enough to be very good without any of this.
No, yeah, I'm not denying that Luna is strong. I mean, maybe it could be stronger. Maybe there is something we are missing here.
Well, 1850 spellcasters, there's not a whole lot. There's like Charmers, and then the other fairy tales, none of which are that good except for Luna and Snow.
Is there one that interacts with equipment? Maybe some kind of package with his order?
I mean, sure, sounds spicy. Why don't you try and make it work?
Basically because I don't know what any of these cards do, and I'm just spitballing, but
yeah.
Maybe.
This is sort of rough. At least Prawn's managed to out this Eater here, but we know he has a blue eyes.
Now we can go in Scientist into Restrict.
Oh yeah, he's like
Princess Sprite.
Yeah, Prawn's hand is not very workable here. We know he's got a blue eyes and a burb. And like SRN has the responding play to this alternative. So Prawn needs like to rip something else. Actually, I think he has 2 blue eyes engraved and 1 in hand, which means that all of his other advanced ritual arts are dead. So this is like a difficult situation. He's like sort of run out of steam after a very impressive looking start because Eater and Luna both are like really pulling their weight. There's a slider here that I never noticed. I don't know what it means.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed it a while back, and I played around with it for a while, and it didn't do anything. So.
Oh, that's rough. He got the plus off the Princess Sprite, and it's into effect negation, which is like the thing you need to seal the deal when you're already ahead. Is like that's your contingency plan for if something goes wrong. Your anti-Exiton Knight or whatever. Not in this matchup, but so that's pretty rough. And like
we know that 2 cards in Prawn's hand are pretty dead, and now he can't. He doesn't have his main form of interaction at end since
yeah. And like any one of the magical scientist, Luna or Gradle Impact could have like carried the rest of this game, but all of them together is probably like pretty over.
Yeah, I think there is no way out. There is no way out of this.
Yeah, so we'll see. I don't think that he'd scoop here. He'll probably play it out, but I'm calling that it's over.
So conveniently, SRN doesn't even have a lethal this turn, since but Prawn scoped.
I think you're ahead of me still.
I mean, spoilers from the future, but Prawn.
Yep, there we go.
I was going to say, at least SRN doesn't have lethal, since biggest boss is Iwato, and it's still a 3700. So Prawn gets another turn, but no, there's nothing to do.
Yeah, there was nothing to do there. So congrats to SRN for the top 8 matchup win, and
nice.
Yeah. And cool.
I always root for control, so this is a nice duel.
That's because you're terrible.
No, you're terrible. Learn to play, scrub.
You're a scrub. Anyways, thanks
Thanks,
everyone
but
for thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll get on the top 4 match pretty soon, and that'll be uploaded whenever we get the thumbnails or whatever sorted out. Anyways, bye.
bye.